Dive into the chilling depths of the ocean with this compilation of real shark attacks that will leave you breathless. From the heart-stopping moments caught on camera to gripping survivor tales, this video unveils the sheer intensity and unpredictability of shark encounters. As Ian Brophy, a dedicated veteran surfer of 70 years, stood on the sandy shoreline of Granite's Beach, the unrelenting crash of waves against the beach was like a symphony that echoed through his ears like a piece of music. A dozen or so surfers were eagerly waiting to catch a perfect wave, and the morning sky was painted in pink and gold hues as a result of the sun's rays. This aurora borealis-like scene promised an idyllic day. Ian was about to paddle out when a sudden commotion ruptured the serene atmosphere. He heard someone yell, "Shark!" and then a collective shout pierced the air. He turned around at the exact right time to see a terrifying scene, a monstrous figure charging at another surfer who was out in the water. The scene was one that could only be characterized as terrifying from what one could see. The unfortunate surfer was taken by surprise when he was attacked by the great white shark as it charged through the water with its jaws wide open. As Ian watched in horror, the predator pulled the surfer under the water, then re-emerged and then dove back down with savage force. The surfer's final moments were terrifying. Ian later explained what took place to the authorities, his voice tainted with the trauma of having witnessed such a horrifying event. It grabbed him, pulled him back down, brought him back up, pulled him back down again. The water turned the color of blood, and the waves transformed into a terrifying place for a fight to stay alive. The fact that there was a blood stain in the water was a foreboding sign that served as a dreadful reminder of the brutality that had just taken place. A vicious bite that spoke volumes about the tragedy was etched into the surface of a surfboard as it floated aimlessly in the water, bearing the unmistakable mark of the shark's aggression. The search for the victim was conducted in a manner that was both speedy and exhaustive. Volunteers, members of search and rescue teams, and residents of the area all collaborated in an effort to search the coastline and the depths of the water for any sign of the missing surfer. In spite of their ceaseless efforts, the ocean steadfastly refused to reveal its sinister secret and did not disclose the location of the man. Jeff Schmucker, a seasoned surfer who was also a witness to the harrowing event, got on his jet ski in the hopes that he could contribute in some way to the search for the missing surfer. As he navigated the waters that were familiar to him, a sinking sensation crept over him as he reflected on the bleak reality. A monstrous great white shark, a massive creature that was longer than the length of a sedan car, hovered menacingly nearby, serving as a silent sentinel to the tragic events that had just taken place. The stunned and heartbroken expressions of the close-knit community at Granite's Beach were reflected in the eerie stillness that hung over the beach. Phil McAvoy, a resident, related the tragic event, describing how the sound of sirens shattered the calm of the morning and indicated that an accident had just taken place. The occurrence brought back a chilling memory of a tragedy that had occurred earlier in the year and was strikingly similar to this one. As a result, it sounded like a chord that evoked a sense of foreboding in those who witnessed it. The once pristine waters that surrounded South Australia's coastline had deteriorated into a realm of uncertainty and danger, and as a result, violent and unexpected encounters were taking people's lives. Following the attack, residents of the area, as well as professionals in the field, were compelled to face the unfortunate reality that there had been an increase in the number of shark sightings in the region. Charlie Huveniers, a well-known shark expert from Flinders University, was willing to share his observations and thoughts on the worrying trend. He emphasized the complex interplay of factors such as human influence, climate shifts, and the predatory instincts of these oceanic giants as potential catalysts for the rising incidents. Warm currents in the ocean attracted not only surfers, but also the top predators in the sea, who found themselves to be drawn to these currents. As temperatures rose, the delicate balance of marine ecosystems shifted, which brought sharks closer to shores, where unsuspecting humans unwittingly crossed paths with these formidable creatures. As a consequence, there was a subsequent increase in the number of shark attacks, as the eerie aftershocks of a tragedy reverberated along the coastline. Streaky Bay, once a tranquil haven for surfers and enthusiasts, was thrust into the spotlight. The waves now carry the weight of lives that have been lost and futures that have been shattered, and the vibrant spirit of the town was mixed with sadness after the disaster. The fact that the search continued, despite the misery and disruption, is an inspiring illustration of the human capacity for resilience in the face of the unrelenting power of nature. On the other hand, the vastness of the ocean managed to keep its mysteries hidden, which resulted in an overwhelming feeling of betrayal and a lack of answers. Granite's Beach was eerily quiet as the sun sank below the horizon on that tragic day in October. The beach was haunted by the memory of a surfer whose daring spirit met a tragic end at the jaws of a shark lurking beneath the waves. The surfer's death left Granite's Beach with a sense of foreboding, and the waters, which were once welcoming and teeming with life, now bore witness to a somber truth, a reminder of the raw power that dwells in the depths, waiting to claim its next victim in the dance between man and nature. It is a story destined to live on in the records of South Australia's coastline, a testament to the deadly beauty and unpredictable nature of the vast open ocean. The tragedy left its imprint on the collective consciousness and served as a frightening reminder of the delicate balance of life and the primal forces that command the expansive oceans. The fateful day began like any other in the picturesque expanse of Lighthouse Beach. The golden hues of dawn were cast upon the calm waters, creating a serene facade that concealed the dangers hiding beneath the surface. As a result of the allure of the waves, surfers gathered together, completely oblivious to the approaching chaos that fate had in store for them. Toby Begg, a seasoned surfer adorned with years of experience navigating the tumultuous tides, felt the magnetic pull of the ocean calling out to him. Cloaked in his wetsuit, Toby commenced his daily ritual of riding the waves that gracefully danced with both allure and concealed dangers. The sun, just beginning to touch the horizon, hinted at the promise of a perfect day. As Toby paddled into the embrace of the sea, nature held its breath in anticipation, though it was unaware of the impending catastrophe that was about to occur. The tranquility shattered when a mere ripple, caressed the water's surface, an ominous herald of the terror that lurked beneath. The great white shark, a monstrous predator lurking in the ocean's depths, remained elusive as its menacing silhouette was concealed by the vastness of the sea. It struck with a ferocity that defied comprehension, bearing a primitive instinct that had been bred over the course of millennia. Within the blink of an eye, the calm scene was completely overtaken by chaos. When Toby was riding his board, he experienced an otherworldly force. It was a vice-like grip that seized him with an incomprehensible amount of strength. The whirlwind of frothy water, which had been a source of happiness in the past, had turned into a battlefield where survival hung by the thinnest thread. As Toby was being attacked, the savage jaws of the great white shark pressed down on him, a chilling demonstration of the unrelenting force of nature. After being dragged into the depths, he descended into the murky abyss, where the light was diminishing and darkness was controlling everything. Panic clawed at his consciousness, threatening to engulf him as the ocean's depths beckoned, a realm where man's dominion was non-existent. Toby mustered a reserve of strength that he had never possessed before in an effort to do everything he could to stay alive. His limbs were thrashing against the water, and he was fighting desperately to get away from it. He was overcome with a surge of an urge to live, to fight against the jaws of impending doom, which triumphed over his feelings of fear and despair. In the midst of the fierce battle unfolding beneath the waves, Toby's world transformed into a stark palette of black and white. As the chaos fueled by adrenaline mingled with the primordial dance of predator and prey, the fleeting moments seemed to last forever. Amidst the chaos, the great white's razor-sharp teeth tore into Toby's flesh, claiming a part of him forever. The harsh reality of mortality loomed, a chilling reminder of man's vulnerability in nature's relentless embrace. As Toby broke the surface of the water, struggling for air, the conflict continued to rage. The great white shark struck one more time, its savagery remaining unflinching. A scene that painted the canvas of horror and defiance amidst the crashing waves was a scene that echoed across the shore like a symphony of chaos played out everywhere. Even though the attack was relentless, Toby's spirit did not give in to the pressure. As a last-ditch effort that would ultimately prove to be his last chance at life, he rolled himself into a protective ball in a moment of pure determination. A barrage of blows from the great white shark rained down upon him, each one serving as a demonstration of the ocean's unbridled strength. Toby clung to life, despite the excruciating pain and unimaginable terror that he was experiencing, his determination remaining unshaken. The scene on the shore unfolded in a flurry of shock and urgency. As a result of being rendered speechless by the horror that was taking place in front of them, witnesses came together to help Toby. A doctor who was not on duty rushed to the location, acting as a savior in the wake of the chaos. Fate had predetermined their presence, and with swift precision they applied a tourniquet, a lifeline amidst the crimson tide that threatened to claim Toby's life. Despite the fact that the battle was won, the wounds caused by the encounter were severe. Toby was lying on the shore, his battered body etched with a picture of pain and endurance. Because of the courageous actions of those who rushed to his aid, he was able to cling to life with determination, which is a reflection of the human ability for resiliency in the face of the wildness of nature. A collective sigh of relief echoed across the shores as the ambulance took him away to John Hunter Hospital. It was only the beginning of the fight for Toby's life. Surgeries were on the horizon, and an exhausting process of rehabilitation was waiting for him. The sense of community solidarity grew faster than a tsunami. The outpouring of donations served as a ray of light in the darkness, demonstrating the unflinching compassion that people have for one another in times of difficulty. The rallying cry for support, the collective will to support Toby and his family in their most difficult time, resonated all along the coast, serving as an example of the unbeatable spirit of a human. The terrifying experience resulted in the appearance of an eerie photograph, a snapshot frozen in time just a few moments before the catastrophe. Standing meters away from the lurking predator, Toby epitomized the fragility of human existence amidst the vast expanse of the ocean's embrace. In the present moment, as the sun sinks below the horizon, the battle that Toby Begg fought against the great white shark still echoes throughout the shores. His story stands as a testament to courage in the face of unimaginable terror, a triumph of resilience and an ode to the unyielding human spirit that refuses to be subdued, even in the face of nature's unfathomable power. The tranquil embrace of Walker's Rock Beach, located on the Eyre Peninsula in Australia, held promise on that fateful May 13th, 2023. It was a day bathed in the shimmering hues of the ocean. The coastal winds told tales of adventure, and they were beckoning surfers to dance on the waves of the ocean. Simon Baccanello, a 46-year-old teacher who had recently relocated his life to the city of Elliston, was among the individuals present. To anyone everyone's great surprise, he had no idea that this particular day would forever be etched into the annals of tragedy. Children's joyous laughter and the resonant calls of seagulls harmonized with the salty breeze wafting through the air. A dozen surfers formed a group, embracing the serene expanse, their boards slicing through the waves as they glided along the shore. Simon, a man beloved by his students and respected by his colleagues, found solace in the embrace of the ocean. A sanctuary from the rigors of teaching math, science and physical education at Elliston Area School. A spectre emerged from the bottomless depths of the ocean, and it was the menacing silhouette of a great white shark. This shattered the peace that had been there. During the chaos that broke out, the surfers were overcome with fear, and Simon's bravery shone through in the face of the impending danger. In the midst of the crashing waves, Simon's voice resonated, determined yet mixed with concern. "Get yourself to shore," he said. Simon's unwavering commitment to the well-being of others is demonstrated by the fact that he urged his fellow surfers to safety when he found out that the danger was getting closer. Jaden Miller, who was one of the witnesses, recounted the catastrophic event that took place. The force of nature caused Simon to be thrown off his board, and he ultimately disappeared into the depths of the water. Simon's board stood upright, a solemn monument marking the location where he was last seen. It was a silent proof of the chaos that ensued, and at that moment, a collective gasp echoed throughout the area. "He was gone," Jaden recalled, his voice shaking as he spoke again. "We saw the shark just thrashing around out the back. The sharks let go and came back and got him for a third time." As the great white shark continued its relentless attack, the community was shaken to its very foundations. Pieces of Simon's life began to emerge as the search for him extended beyond the shoreline. These pieces included a fragment of his wetsuit and remnants of his surfboard, which served as an eerie reminder of the tragedy that had become apparent. The community of Elliston came together to show their unshaken unity and strength in the face of the tragedy that the town had experienced. Superintendent Paul Barr, who was in charge of leading the search efforts, expressed gratitude for the enduring strength and unity of the community. With the search intensifying, the emotions of the locals grew increasingly agitated. Not only did the absence of Simon leave an everlasting void in the hearts of his family, but it also left a void in the hallways of Elliston Area School. Principal Chad Fleming had fond memories of Simon, who was a shining example of compassion and dedication, and whose influence was felt profoundly within their close-knit community. The reminiscences of Fleming included the following. He was just an absolute gem of a bloke, an absolutely dedicated teacher. In a small town like this, everyone gets affected by it. In the midst of the outpouring of grief, memories of the great white shark that was haunting came back to the surface. The collective unease that beachgoers and surfers were experiencing had been made worse by reports that an enormous shark had been seen off the coast of South Australia earlier. Michael Scheffler, a fisherman, described an experience in which he came face to face with a great white shark that was both majestic and intimidating. This experience highlighted the unpredictability of these apex predators. Reverberations were felt throughout the coastal town due to the tragic disappearance of Simon Bacanello, which shed light on the delicate balance between man and the wild forces of nature. As the search continued, the tragic death of a much-loved educator and the eerie presence of a top predator served as a powerful reminder of the mysterious connection that exists between humankind and the vast uncertainty of the ocean. Even though there was a growing sense of acceptance mixed with sorrow, the search continued, even as the days turned into weeks. In order to commemorate a life that was cut short by the unforgiving sea, memorial services were held in honor of Simon's memory. These services weaved together stories of his kindness and dedication. Although the tragedy left a terrible scar on the community, they were able to find comfort in each other's embrace. During the time that the town of Elliston was coming together to celebrate Simon's legacy, support came pouring in from all over the world. The enduring impact of a man who had touched the lives of so many people was demonstrated by the emergence of efforts to raise awareness about marine safety, as well as scholarships designated in his name and fundraising events. The outpouring of love and support from the Elliston community provided solace to Simon's family, who were struggling to come to terms with the profound loss they had suffered. They retreated into privacy, enveloped in memories of a man who had left a permanent mark on the world. The coastal town, which the tragedy had forever changed, started to recover. The waters of Walker's Rock Beach, a source of solace and adventure in the past, now bore the weight of a heartbreaking story, a story of determination, unity, and the enduring legacy of a much-loved educator.